everyone. It's ladies' night again. So you
Woo!
got Constance here, you got the lovely Natalia.
Hello.
So today we're talking about The Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. Is that the full name? Right?
I don't know. I just call it the sequel to Knives Out.
I would call it a spinoff. It's more
Yeah,
like
it's
the Adventures of Benoit Blanc is really what it should be
yeah,
called.
that's a much better name.
Kind of like Sherlock Holmes, like how it's a new case all the time, but Sherlock is
The Constant.
the yeah the
Yeah.
North Star of the
Hmm.
franchise. So it is a who done it to an extent. So spoiler warning, I guess, because how can you talk about it without spoilers,
And
right?
for those of you who don't have the movie showing in your country, for the stupid just 1 week long thing, it really should have just been out everywhere. It's very dumb. Um, it comes out on Netflix at the end of December. Is that it?
December 23rd. I think they were trying to
Yeah.
mirror that, like in theaters for 1 week starting November 23rd, and then on Netflix December 23rd. I think we can fact check that, but
Yes.
I'll put it in the description if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so Glass Onion, what a fun title. So you go into this going, all right, what's it going to be and all that. I had a good time. I do like the first one more, but that doesn't mean this one's bad. It just means I like that one more. But a good time. I laughed. It was surprisingly bright and cheerful, even though the subject matter is not.
Yes.
What are
I
your
think
initial thoughts?
my initial thoughts, also positive. I did like it. I think I liked the first one more. I think the reason as to why I like the first one more is because Knives Out is just so aggressively fall Thanksgiving. This doesn't have that same kind of um like like the release of the first one really worked out completely in the theme of it. But I do like how the sequel, and hopefully there are more, kind of follow the Thanksgiving release. But anyway, I am trying to say is that yes, I did enjoy it. I forced my whole family to go and see it. I convinced everyone. My parents were on the phone sometimes during it, and I was like, "You have your brightness all the way up. I don't understand what you're doing." And I was sitting next to my dad, and I smacked him. I was like, "Get off your phone." And he just looked at me and laughed, and then he was on his phone for a little bit more. But anyway, outside of them being bad sports, um, I really liked it a lot. I think it was a little bit harder for me to get into this one than the first. Um, I think it more so because it's so different from the
Yeah.
first. This one was a group of friends coming together because of a terrible thing, which they didn't know of. A group of friends coming together because of a weird mystery box thing that got sent to them. The first one was a family coming together. It's just the reasons are different, but I did enjoy both. But I think I don't know. This one felt a little, I don't know. I didn't I had a harder time with this one in the beginning
Well,
because
I'll agree with you on a couple points. So, if you are a person who doesn't like Thanksgiving because you hate these forced social rules of family has to get together, I'm like, well, sometimes maybe family
no.
should not.
Yeah.
You might share blood, but you may not share anything else. Like, okay, I do love my family. Let me be clear. It's just sometimes forcing people to get together just to do it is not good. And in 2019, when this came out, so again, this is from the before times.
Yes.
Um,
Right before the before times.
Putting this out Thanksgiving week, and it's a dysfunctional family. It's showing family how they kind of really are. Some families are loving. I have met them, but there are other
I
families
know of
that's
them,
like,
not
yeah,
personally.
they're like, oh, I hate that you do this, or I don't agree with you on that, and oh, daddy likes you better, whatever it is. That's a real depiction of family. Like, yes, this is a family of wealth, but you don't have to have wealth to relate to relationships that were depicted in that story. So that's very good counter culture programming of, because Thanksgiving is always thought of as like, let's go see the latest Disney movie and as a family. what if you don't have family, or what if you don't like, you're like, okay, we're gonna do the dinner thing, but then I'm out, like this was an escape. I needed Knives Out so bad. It really spoke to me. I was like, yes. Especially when you are the one in the family, like, oh, maybe I'm not living up to my potential. Maybe people want to remind me of that. Like, this is what you needed.
Family.
But I think with Glass Onion, I think they thought, oh, that's our brand. We have to release all of our spin-offs Thanksgiving week. I'm like, okay, I understand that you think, oh, well, why mess with the system? But it's not the same story. It's a whodunit, and it has Ben LeBlanc, Daniel Craig in the role, but otherwise it's not the same.
Yeah.
And Friends coming together is not the same as family.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because we're like, I don't know, what's the word? You just like a good thing to chew over, like, yes, look at this family just rip each other apart. Watching friends rip each other apart is not the same kind of
It doesn't
cathartic.
have the same feel.
Yeah. But if you hate the 1%, because this is the classic haves versus the have nots, and this is making fun of them, you can
Yes.
get some cathartic from that. But I don't really have it out for them at the moment. I'm good. I got other things I'm
Hmm.
prioritizing, so that's not where my headspace is. But maybe in a different time I can go, yeah. um but also, even though this was a smaller cast, I felt like there was less for them to do. Like, I love Leslie Odom Jr., but he didn't really feel like he was really in this movie.
Totally. Yeah, I agree.
So I'm like, it's weird. There's less people to keep track of, but I don't know. And Catherine Hahn is fine. She has her moments, but she could have had more because we've seen
We've seen
other
Catherine
things.
Hahn.
Oh, other funny things. So I went with my husband. Normally I have to be like, well, it's gonna be like this, and I'm sure you'll like it. I didn't have to tell him anything other than what you said, like it's the Knives Out sequel. He's like,
Sequel.
okay, I'm there.
Yeah.
He went in with it
Same.
totally like, yeah. And he came out going, well, that movie was so much fun. He was like, wouldn't it have been great if Catherine Hahn was the killer? Because we could have been like, it was Agatha
Agatha
all
all along.
my husband, who does not quote things, put that
Quoted
together.
that.
So that's very witty for
Way
him.
to go, husband.
Yes. So I was like, yes, because then that would have been the meme everywhere as soon as people could see it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought the characters were fine. I don't know. They just weren't as fun you didn't have your Chris Evans type of person where you're like, yeah, I love to hate this person. And they're so good at playing something against type. And I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's not the same, but it's not bad. I don't want
It's
to keep dumping
yes.
on it
We're
because
I
it
know
was
that it
funny.
doesn't sound like we're like super in love with it. We do like it a lot.
Yes.
However, we're being
Yes.
nitpicky.
Yes. But it is funny. Now, I think the other reason why I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to revisit this a lot because it does take place in the pandemic. Um, it's not that movies can't talk about real world things or have real world people in them, but I don't like movies that are of the moment because I'm going to the movie to get away from this.
We
So
saw
I'm like,
Fauci like 5 minutes into this movie on that
yeah,
screen.
yeah. I was like, no, don't talk about the pandemic. Think about someone trying to watch this movie 10 years from now, 20 years from now. They're going to be like, well, this is a bit weird, especially if they're so far removed that they don't have a memory of it, you
Hmm.
know? That's anyway, me always talk about the future. So,
Yeah. Um, she moved. Um, what was I going to say? I felt oh yes, the spoilers. I don't know if we've really
yeah,
been
we
super
did
deep
say spoilers
diving.
at the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
The surprise Ethan Hawke was so much fun, especially for Hannah and I. We gasped so hard. Hannah is a now an Ethan Hawke fan. She basically just saw the black phone and fell in love.
Nice.
Good for her. But we saw him, we were like so excited, and he just like showed up, shot something into everyone's mouth, and just left. And I was like, that's it. That's the end of Ethan Hawke.
Yes. That is something this movie does very well. Surprise cameos. There are
Surprise
three that I
cameos.
loved. At the top of the
Yes.
movie, what I did like about we're all in shutdown is Ben LeBlanc is in a bathtub playing
Oh
Among
my
Us.
God. The half of the cast was so sad.
And then Stephen Sondheim and Angela
Sondheim.
Lansbury are playing with him. First of all, how are they friends? I want to see
Also,
that.
it
And
was so sad looking at them, and I was like, half of your
I know. But I loved it. I was like, oh my God, is
It's
this the
so
last thing
fun.
Angela Lansbury ever did? Or Stephen Sondheim?
Or
Because
Stephen Sondheim.
have lost them both.
Yes.
So
But that was so much fun. And Natasha Lyonne.
yes, yes. But also later in the movie, when we do the rewind and play it again, surprise Hugh Grant.
Yes, surprise you
Yes,
grid
so good.
in a little bit. Oh, apron. That
Mhm.
did, so fun, so fun.
Yes. Moments like that really make this movie shine, where like you
Yes,
start to go, yeah, okay, because okay, let me break this down. The
do it.
first chunk of the movie is really fun. My issues come about when we do the whole, let's do the whole rewind
Rewind.
and then kind of play it again, but from a different angle, but not, it's not a true like, let's start over again. And now, not like Memento, where it's like, now you're going to see missing pieces. It's like, no, we're going to tell you a whole new story
Mm-hmm.
from a surprise character. And I didn't care for this part. I love Janelle Monáe, but I don't know what she was doing with that accent. Everyone likes to make fun of, Daniel Craig, but I think we're just so used to his now that now she's the one who sounds ridiculous.
It's so funny because my mom walked out of the movie and she was like, I feel like Daniel Craig wasn't really giving his all with the accent. I felt like it was more of a show. And I'm
Mm,
like, did you not hear Janelle Monáe's? I think this is going to be the series of movies where you have one weird accent and then boom, another one shows up. Then who
yes.
knows? Maybe in the next one there'll be three people.
And apparently it has to be Southern. So
Yes, everyone has to be Southern.
yeah. So I don't know. I didn't believe the twin sister and like, oh yeah, she's kind of the same. She just, well, I'm from Alabama. It's like, yeah, okay. Wow. All right. I don't know. Something about that twist. I wasn't buying it. Like, oh, we'll just get you in her clothes and you can just be there. And I'm like, how is she gonna get away with making them believe that she's Andy? I didn't believe it. I
She
didn't.
was it's because she was playing rich bitch.
Mhm.
That is a quote from the movie. Um, yeah, I don't know. Mm,
But that's what I didn't like. Also, it just took too long to do all that. Now, I don't mind spending time in a movie. I am the last person that's going to say this movie's too long or it's
yeah.
boring. I don't like using the word boring because I like to
You like
saunter,
this? Yes.
marinate.
Marinate. Nice. Nice.
That's the word. But I don't know. It just felt like it was taking too long and it just wasn't as fun to unravel, like I said, because it didn't feel like everyone had as important a role as they did the first time. Like I thought, what's her name? The assistant, Peg? Is that her name?
Yes.
I thought
Jessica
she would
Henwick.
I thought she would have more like, oh, she's gonna be like the grandmother character where in the first one where she has a tiny role, but there's a moment where you're like, oh my god, she's gonna be somebody so important.
Yeah.
Nothing like that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just a little, oh, you're okay, but do I love you? No. But do I hate that I spent time with you? Also, no.
Um, I don't know. I do agree with what we said at the top, which was how no one really felt like super fleshed out and like that they didn't have a whole lot to work with, which was really disappointing because of this amazing and smaller cast. Um yeah, I don't know. I think my biggest surprise, I guess, in terms of a character was probably Edward Norton. Um and I don't know, he just felt I forgot that he was there because the promotion for this hasn't been the best and they put out posters like 2 days before the movie came out or something. Um and I was like, "Oh crap, right. Edward Norton is in this." And then he's just like this really um trying to be connect with his friends again, super buddy buddy. Um and I don't know, it just especially near the end when he was trying to be all vindictive and his little whatever the hell, I don't, the stupid little chemical rock.
Oh, the hydrogen,
Yeah, that like
it's highly
how
explosive.
yes, incredibly explosive. I think the thing that really threw me off is that like which I guess it works in terms of the movie, was how everyone is aware of how much like of an asshole and a cheating, conniving little man he is, and still back him every time,
Mhm.
except for the end when he literally got his shit blown up. But I think that only when everyone didn't keep going for him at the end, I think that only exacerbated the fact that it was because he didn't have anything anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. I also do agree that Jessica Henwick should have gotten more things
Yes.
outside of just like, give me your other secret phone.
Which was funny,
It was funny.
but I thought she would be relevant to the situation. The only thing I knew as the beginning of the movie unfolded was I'm like, okay, he's doing the whole come to my house and you'll solve my murder. I'm like, well, he's not going to die.
Mm-hmm.
We'll subvert expectations because that's what Ryan Johnson does, and
Very good.
someone else is going to die. But who, Now I did love the beginning. I love the puzzle boxes, and I love that they were all talking to each
And the
other.
mom was like, it's a Fibonacci circle.
Yes.
She was
And
good.
then at the end, when it closed back up, and they're like, "What's this?" and she's like, "I don't know." I just thought that was great. And then Janelle Monáe's character, who we don't know yet because she hasn't said a word, she just comes in with a hammer and smashes it. I was like, yes, that's a true depiction of life too, because there are people who are all like, okay, let me get all the pieces just right and follow
Mhm.
the directions to the letter. And there's other
If
people
I
who are like, whatever, I'm just,
smash it,
yeah,
then it'll be open.
that's true to human life. There are people who are like, I could do that, or I could just take a mallet to it and destroy the thing and get the thing inside because I know that's what's going on. That was hilarious.
Yes. That was a
I'm
really,
not
really
saying
good
there aren't
opening.
any glowing moments. There are. It's just I don't know. When I walked out, I was like, I want to go home and watch Knives Out now. So that's what I did. I went home and I watched the first one.
Yeah.
But I was like, yes.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people the pre-reviews for it before it came out, everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's better than the first one." And they really got my expectations up high because of that. And I walked out of there and I was like, "It was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it." But I don't think that it's better than the first.
No, but I didn't walk in going, let's see who's better. I don't like pinning movies
I
against each
yeah,
other. I'm
yeah.
not a fan of the whole, ooh, is it going to be Save It Private Ryan or The Thin Red Line? Which one will be better? Wakanda Forever or Avatar? Which one? I'm like, right, just because they have similar thematic things going on or using elements, they just happen to come out at the same time, doesn't mean we have to pin them against each other. I'm not really a fan
Yeah.
of that. But as the movie ended, I was like, oh man, I actually really miss the first one right now. So I will watch this again. That's not a problem. It doesn't make you think too hard, which is good. Sometimes you need a movie that's kind of fluffy. It's not
Yeah.
super fluffy because it does things that you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming, or oh,
Mhm.
I thought it was going to go here, and it went there almost, but not in the way that I thought it was going to go there. So
Yeah.
um, the other thing that was draining to me, the end when they're smashing all the glass, that was really long. I thought she would do it like
That
once
was
or twice
so
just to make
long.
it funny.
I don't
Yeah.
get how they just kept going and going. I was
And
like,
then
just
she's
do
running in slow
three.
mo to get to the poor Mona Lisa. Oh, they done did her dirty. But
And then she got exploded.
yeah, I don't know. That felt so drawn out, but in an awkward, I don't
How
know,
did they live?
something.
That's my question.
What?
Everyone lived except for
Yes,
except for Dave
Dave
Bautista.
Bautista's character. I give it a B. Like if movies you really love, you're like, oh, that was an A. I'm like, oh, this wasn't. This is not C material. I'm like, okay, well then it's a B.
It's very B. It's very B.
Yeah, not
Um
like B movie, like
no.
quality, just grade.
Yes. I think I did enjoy it. I feel like I'm kind of just like waiting. I'll wait until it comes out on Netflix again, on Netflix to see it again. Um, and just so then I can like have it again and then just like find the little things on it, you know?
Yes. Well, and I agree with, I think it was Daniel Craig who said it in a promotionally, like, oh, to really appreciate this, you need to watch it twice. And I'm like, well, it's a who done it. You're
That's
gonna
the
watch it
point.
at least more than once because you're like, well, now I want to see it knowing what I know to see if I can go, oh, look, foreshadowing,
Yes.
like
Yes.
yeah, I agree. And to circle back to something you said earlier, I do believe they've already greenlit the third movie and that they're in talks for the fourth. So I think there's at least an idea for a fourth one. So I think that's the future right now. Um, I'm also confused about this 1 week release, it limited release apparently because it's not
It's
everywhere.
dumb. It's
Um,
so stupid. I saw a tweet someone said where they went to go see it and they were like so excited and their audience was like really reactionary and clapping and everything and gasping. And he also enjoyed the movie, but that the it was so disappointing because that was only going to be there for 1 week.
right.
It's so sad. Netflix
Yes.
absolutely shot themselves in the foot with that. They could have.
That's another good point. I've had a lot of bad audiences lately, but not this time. This was a great audience. It wasn't completely full theater. I want to say it was like half full, but they were quiet. They were attentive. They were very much like, oh, no, we gotta listen, and they laughed a lot. So to me, not all the jokes land, but they did with the people around me. So very
That's
good
what
audience.
matters.
Yeah, very good audience this time. So that was refreshing. It was like, yay, they do exist. So
I know.
um,
I
so that's
couldn't
another
tell if I
element.
had a good audience or not because I was swatting
Um,
my father to put his
oh,
phone
I
away.
like the set.
Yes.
I thought the island and the mansion, that's all beautiful because it's got a Survivor meets Fantasy Island meets Clue kind of, but a 2022 version of it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the glass onion was going to be a literal glass onion.
Yeah, same. I didn't, I mean, hell, you never know nowadays if it's just going to be some cute, quirky thing or if it's actually going to be a set piece on top of the giant island.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm trying to think of what other categories. I'm like, nothing about the cinematography stood out to me. Nothing about the costume stood out to me, other
I,
than Daniel Craig's
ye-
pool outfit.
oh, amazing. I know personally I did like all of the costumes that everyone had because everyone was like so clearly defined.
Right,
Um, which I didn't really get the whole vibe of in the first one because it was aggressively autumnal
right.
and quite cozy. This one felt you could clearly see everyone's personality with this. Catherine Hahn was in all beige. Um, if Birdie wasn't wearing if Birdie was always in like some bright color and then she wore the rainbow dress and that was really good. Um, as long as we could see Dave Batista's gun, that was an outfit. Everyone else,
Is that a
yeah.
euphemism right there?
No. Um, oh, I really liked what's his face?
She's poking me. I'm like, do
Yeah.
you need something? I think she needs something.
Um, I really liked what's his face? Lionel's outfits. I thought he just looked so cool. I don't know. I like the little baggy kind of nature to it. It was really nice. But overall, I think that Benoit Blanc was the best dressed. Basically for the pool outfit alone.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I just remembered something else. I don't understand why the random friend was there. Like, I'm not here, and he was another character. I'm like, oh, he'll be important later.
No, he
Never
was
was.
a smoking friend at the end, but that's about it.
But that's not even a good joke. Like, you could
No,
have
it
just
really isn't.
Ben Blanc, smoking and the thing going off. This is a smoke-free area, even though the whole thing's on fire, and because that would be funny too. Like,
Yeah.
we don't. Why is this random friend character here? Doesn't pay off. Doesn't mean anything. Again, he doesn't have to have a major part, but it could be like, aha, nothing.
Why is he there? No.
Yeah. So
He's
doesn't stick the landing for me, but a lot
same.
of fun. A lot of
Yes.
fun.
Yes. We sound so
I
sad about it, but we did like it, people. I
I
promise.
can't write who done it mysteries. I don't even know how to begin to approach that. So the mystery was there. I just didn't love it,
Yes.
but a good time. I
Yeah.
do think if you are able to see it in theaters, by the time this comes out, it'll be like the last day it's in theaters.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, go support theaters. We want theaters to not go away. That
Mhm.
experience is important. So even though I've had a lot of bad audiences lately, I still go because
Yeah.
sometimes you're rewarded with a good one, like I was for this.
Yes.
Um, any other
Well,
closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. No, I liked it. I'll watch it again, but probably when it's on Netflix.
Same, same. Yeah. So, and if it doesn't come to you at all, because it's not your fault, check it out on Netflix. Save it for
Hmm.
your rainy day. Like, oh, it's raining, or oh, I'm all snowed in. What to do? It's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not asking too much
Mm-mm.
of your brain. So if you don't want to think too
Perfectly
hard,
harmless.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
disposable fun. That's what I would call it.
Nice. I like that. Disposable fun.
It is. I would say that.
Yes.
Well, it's a quick review, but sometimes where you can be very succinct. So
Yes.
that's it for now, and we'll see you guys next time. So bye.